What is going on with Workhorse Stock? What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the hoodie to prove it. And today we're going to speak about Workhorse. What an absolutely insane day it was in the stock market yesterday. I mean, for a lot of new investors, this was the worst day they ever experienced. I mean, the Dow Jones was down nearly 3%, the Nasdaq down nearly 5%, and the S&P about 3.5%. What an insane day that was. And not to mention, if you're an EV investor, it didn't get any better. I mean, Tesla down over 9%, and that led to pretty much the whole EV market being down massively as well. Workhorse was no different, down close to 7% on the day, despite a lot of promising news as of late. I mean, between the interview I did with Steve Schrader and finding out that we have over 200 new job positions, I mean, that's some fantastic news. All of which would heavily lead us to believe something big could be happening relatively soon, a massive catalyst. Yet, we are crashing. First things first, okay? Not Workhorse's fault at all. Nothing to do with Workhorse. The market as a whole, horrific day. Who knows what's going to happen today before the long weekend? You guys know I double upload on Fridays. That's what my second video later on is going to be all about. But I mean, Workhorse, the first thing I want to say is this just is not justified by any means in my opinion. But it is what is happening with pretty much all EV players and pretty much every stock in the market right now. I mean, it is very difficult to find a company that did well yesterday. But it's Friday, and on Friday we always do a Workhorse update. So there's a few things I really want to speak about today. There's a few points that came up in the interview I did with Steve Schrader, okay, from a couple of days ago that I really want to expand on and give my thoughts on. And then also the fact that we're hiring more than 200 new employees and just how all of this ties in together, people. So right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, as it genuinely helps me out so much. I really would appreciate you. If you're new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button, people. We are so close to 30,000 subs. It would be sick if we could hit that soon. And please drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Workhorse right now at these current prices, because I think a lot of us are actually going to be happy to buy in here. But anyway, guys, with that being said, let's get into the video. So first things first, yesterday's day in the market was absolutely horrific. I mean, the Nasdaq down 5% in a day, people. If you're involved in growth stocks, a horrific day. Pretty much if you're involved in anything, it was an absolutely terrible day. Tesla down 9%, okay? Workhorse down 6.7%. Shell, Hyliion down 9%, doing really poor in the pre-market as well. NIO down 6%. These guys are following Tesla so closely. And then DBHC, Lordstown Motors, did the best by far, only down 0.5%. The first thing to understand, guys, is that this massive red day, yet again, was not Workhorse's fault. I mean, Apple, guys, down 8%. Amazon down 4.6%. Facebook down 3.7%, even Google down 5%. If you're a Workhorse investor, if you want to get involved in the company, don't let this one red day affect that, because literally the whole market sold off, and even companies like Apple, who just yesterday had a $2.25 trillion market cap, are now all the way down at 2.07 trillion. And this goes for literally any company that went down yesterday. More than likely, it wasn't their fault. It was just part of a broader market sell-off. And so if you're a long-term investor, you should be okay with this. And in fact, you should be more than okay with this. If you want to buy more, you should be happy. You get to buy more at a cheaper price. That is literally the ideal situation. Okay, guys, very first thing I want to speak about is this. On Workhorse LinkedIn, just yesterday, this went up. Work in a growing industry assembling all electric trucks. Workhorse Group is hiring 200 plus mechanical and electrical assembly persons for first, second and third shifts in Loveland, Ohio and Union City, Indiana. 200 plus mechanical and electrical assembly people. This is just assembly related jobs. I don't know about you guys, okay? But I think if you have a little bit of common sense, that would lead you to believe that production is about to get ramped up absolutely massively. You do not hire 200 people for the fun of it. That is not how business works. And furthermore, we are also looking for a number of engineering, quality, supervision, logistics and project management persons. So who knows how many people actually are going to be hired. It could be in the low 200s, it could be in the high 200s. But regardless, that is an awful lot of new people to bring onto the team. And so if you're up to date with Workhorse, obviously we're all going to think about the USPS contract when this comes in and the increased demand that we can expect to see from that contract. So it just seems to be coming at a rather interesting time. And we keep in mind that only 3 days earlier this piece of news came out. Workhorse enters into strategic agreements with Hitachi and Hitachi Capital America. And I spoke about this in great detail in the interview I did with the CFO. But essentially what Hitachi is going to do, okay, is they will provide an operational assessment of Workhorse's manufacturing, operational and supply chain capabilities, benchmarked to best-in-class standards, and provide recommendations to Workhorse that support the company's increased production requirements. It says it right there is increased production requirements. We just took on 200 more assembly line staff. If you remember from the Q2 earnings report, we also took on more assembly line related staff there. I mean, you don't even really have to read between the lines here. Production is going up without a doubt. Literally 100% production is going up, and I would be extremely surprised at this rate if we don't hit our delivery targets by the end of this year, given by absolutely everything that we are seeing. And a dip like this happening despite all of this absolutely fantastic news, I mean, guys, come on, to me it screams a buying opportunity. And we're actually up in the pre-market right now. I'm recording this video 3 hours before the market goes open, so absolutely anything could happen, of course. But personally, guys, I think Workhorse has been so manipulated by market movers as of late. We are just due to go up at some stage, and honestly, the longer that we consolidate, the longer that we go down, in my opinion, the bigger the move to the upside is going to be. And at this stage, it's looking like it could be an insane move. I mean, absolutely insane. So I mean, guys, as of right now, Workhorse's short volume ratio is at 29%. Short volume of 4.2 million shares. I mean, as soon as we start to make a run up, guys, there's going to be an insane short squeeze. I mean, insane. Our average volume right now is at 27.15 million. Our volume yesterday was only at 14.5 million. An awful lot of fear in the market yesterday for very good reason. I mean, it's always scary to see your portfolio get wiped out 5+%. Honestly, guys, I think absolutely anything could happen today. But then the long weekend comes and people really have time to think and to evaluate their decisions, you know, without any pressure of having to make a decision on the spot while all of the mayhem is ensuing. And I think next week's going to be a good week in all honesty. So obviously our biggest upcoming catalyst is the USPS contract, and it is nothing but speculation right now as to whether or not we've gotten it. You can try and read the body language of, you know, the CEO and the CFO when they're doing interviews. You can read through however many pages and pages of information regarding the Workhorse and USPS you want, but when you start to see things like this happening, okay, when you start to see a strategic agreement with a company like Hitachi and hiring 200 plus more staff predominantly in regards to assembly, that's facts, okay? That shows for a fact production is going up, regardless of whether it's to do with the USPS contract or not. It's a fact production levels are going up. You cannot argue that. So with that being said, we're in a better position than we were here when we were up at the $20 mark, without a doubt in my head. And since then, we're down over 12.5%. It was Warren Buffett who said it, guys. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. Right now, a lot of people are very afraid. We all know there's a lot of new investors in the market right now, and a lot of new investors like growth stocks, and a lot of new investors might like Workhorse, and a lot of new investors never experienced a day like yesterday, never experienced a 5 or 10% day. Also, a little known fact, guys, do you want to know when I started investing? 28th of February. Do you want to know what the S&P 500 did? Okay, it dropped 25% in less than a month. My first day of investing, I think I lost like 6%. I was down close to 24% at one stage. Did it put me off? Did I sell everything? No. I bought more. I dollar cost averaged. I took advantage when the companies that I liked were a cheaper price. If you go back to the yearly chart, okay? I mean, guys, what happened yesterday in the S&P 500? We dropped 3.5%. If you look back on the yearly chart, okay, we had dropped, as I said, 33% or so from the very highs. Since then, there's been a few more considerable dips. We've had a few 5% dips here and there. We even had this dip here, which is about 7%. Ultimately, they're very few and far between. Sometimes it's one day, sometimes it can be 2 or 3 days. But literally every single time, it's gone back up. So if you've done your hours and hours and hours of due diligence into Workhorse, and if you like what you're seeing, if you thought, oh no, we're at $20 a share, that's too expensive, I missed out. This is literally what you were asking for. You were literally asking for this pullback to happen. So why are you upset now that it has happened? You should be happy. If you want to hold a company for years and years, okay, would you rather buy the company once at $15 a share when you just start making a position and see it go all the way up to $90 a share, or would you rather be able to buy on multiple occasions between $15 and $20 a share, accumulate a much bigger position before that run up happens? I know which option I prefer. Now, a little bit more on the USPS contract as well. I think all of the news that we've seen lately is pointing to the fact that we have a portion of the contract. I know nobody knows for sure. It's absolutely nobody except all of the insiders. But when I see this many new people getting employed, and when I see a strategic agreement happen with a company like Hitachi now, I mean, that's just not a coincidence at the end of the day. There is something happening. Then, for example, we have a look at a company like Ford, who a lot of people, pretty much myself included, would consider to, you know, be the next biggest competitor in regards to this contract. Now, they aren't even offering an electric vehicle, but anyway, let's look past that. Ford as a company right now, Ford to cut 1,400 workers in the US. Ford posted a $1.9 billion loss for the second quarter. Ford's CEO recently resigned. These are not promising signs for a company who wants to take on a massive contract such as the USPS contract. This news only came out 2 days ago, September 2nd. Workhorse announced that they're only hiring yesterday, September 3rd. I mean, if you're a company who has this absolutely massive contract on the way, surely you cannot afford to cut 1,400 workers. Now, I know a lot of people will argue, you know, they're already so massive, they already have so much going on. That doesn't matter to me. If you already have so much going on, why would you go and take on this new absolutely massive contract while cutting 1,400 workers in the US? It does not add up to me. And again, this is coming from the perspective of a Workhorse bull, but also somebody who does acknowledge the fact that Ford is definitely in the running for a percentage of this contract. All I am saying is, if I was somebody who wanted Ford to be getting this contract, this is not what I would want to be seeing. I would want to be seeing new jobs brought in. I would want to see their CEOs and CFOs in a positive light in the news. It's what Workhorse is doing and it's what Ford isn't. Another quite significant piece of news actually is this. Workhorse Group recommended by Oppenheimer with catalysts in tow. So Oppenheimer has started off coverage on Workhorse Group with an outperform rating. We view Workhorse as the leading EV last mile delivery truck platform with critical design and operating system advantages, notably a substantial weight advantage versus competition, which is positioned to leverage a flexible manufacturing model. Additionally, we believe Workhorse has a substantial lead in integrated drone delivery technology and testing experience. That's without a doubt, they definitely do. Don't drop me a comment about Amazon's drones, okay? It says integrated drone delivery technology. So on the screen right now is the second part of the interview I did with the CFO of Workhorse, Steve Schrader. Absolute legend. One of the questions I asked here, 11 minutes 20 seconds in, is Workhorse in talks with Walmart or other large retailers? Now, I'm not going to make you watch the video, but essentially Steve said, if you can imagine a retailer, okay, Workhorse is speaking with them or is speaking with them somewhere down the line. It really is that simple, guys. They are speaking to everybody who could potentially ever be interested in last mile delivery systems. I asked specifically about Walmart and he just said, we're talking to everybody. So again, if that doesn't fill you with confidence, what will? And this doesn't even have anything to do with the USPS contract, people. This is just more potential orders. And I think they have themselves put in such an incredible place to grow. Between Hitachi, the new staff, the ability to just hire more staff whenever they want, essentially being in a fantastic financial position, you can't argue that they've enough cash to get through till 2022, as the CFO has said multiple times and reaffirmed in this interview right here. As far as growth stocks go, we are in a great position still, people. So once again, does this big red day scare me? No, I would buy more, but I already bought 80 more stocks this week. Workhorse takes up a massive portion of my portfolio right now as it is. Does that mean I won't buy more? No, I definitely will buy more. I just think all in all, guys, we're in such a strong position and we just need to keep that in our minds. Just remember all of the due diligence you've ever done. Remember all of the digging in between the lines that you've ever done when you decided to buy this company for the first time. And everybody should understand, guys, it's going to be volatile, okay? And until we have some real news, that's not going to change. And at the end of the day, the USPS contract is our one big catalyst in the near future. It really is that simple. But to see so many more catalysts on the way as well, to see us hiring, to see us in a strong financial position, it's fantastic. But guys, that is the Workhorse update for today. The main thing I want to get across in today's video, guys, if you've done your due diligence, if you believe in a company, a day like yesterday should not faze you whatsoever. This is all a part of the market and it happens to every company. We even saw it happen with the biggest company in the world, Apple, yesterday, dropping over 8%. Anything can happen in the stock market. Technically, we outperformed Apple yesterday. There will always and absolutely always occasionally be big red days. Workhorse is no different, and with Tesla doing so poorly right now, all EV is going to be dragged down with them to an extent. If you did watch until the end of the video, you, my friend, are a true legend and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Please do hit that cheeky like button if you haven't yet, it genuinely helps me out so much. And guys, if you want the Workhorse news as soon as it comes out, hit the first link in my description and become a patron and join my Discord. We're already very active in there. We have a specific channel just for Workhorse. You get to know exactly when I buy or sell any of my stocks, obviously including Workhorse. Just hit that first link. Also guys, I really do just want to say quickly, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for the support on the channel as of late. I mean, it's still absolutely mind-blowing how big this channel has already gotten. I mean, I think as of recording this, we're about 600 subscribers away from 30,000. That to me is still absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't say that lightly. It's insane. There was no way I ever thought this channel would have grown so quickly. So just to every single one of you who watches the videos, I know a lot of you personally now through Discord. We always speak in the comments. Just know that genuinely, I really appreciate you so much. You have changed my life. I have no plans of slowing down on this channel. We are creating this amazing community. I just wanted to say thank you all so much. But anyway guys, I appreciate you so much for being here. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video later on speaking about the day in the market yesterday. Peace.